This is my 2021 Winnebago Revel. And overall I think it's a great Class B RV, but it is not perfect. So in today's video I want to show you four or five upgrades that I did to the van. And these are not expensive upgrades. In fact, each one of them didn't cost more than like 15 bucks. Let's get started. So up here is the control panel for the bed mechanism. You push the up button, the bed moves up, you push the down button and the bed goes down. And it also has this locking key, and the idea is that you can turn it off. If you remove the key in the lock position, then it's no longer working. Those buttons no longer work, and push the key in, turn it on, and then you can operate the bed. But I don't really want a key. I think it sticks out way too much and I'm afraid that I eventually break it off. So I want to remove this key. Well, I want to remove the lock and replace it with just a switch. The panel is super easy to remove. Just two Phillips screws. Before I remove the cable, I quickly want to check what is what. The black cable on this 4-pin connector is ground, and then the J1 connector here on the circuit board, this is 12 volts into the switch, and when the switch is in the on position, then 12 volts are coming back out of the switch and into J2. So an easy way to just disable the key portion of the switch would be to bridge between J1 and J2. So you can leave the switch in and it wouldn't just do anything anymore because it's always in a closed position. But I actually want to replace the switch, the key switch, with just a regular push button switch. So next thing is to remove the cable, just so it just clips out. And then I'm going to replace the switch. And in case you're wondering, there's plenty of space behind the panel. So there's at least, I don't know, 4, 5, 6 inches in here until you hit the wall from the shower. So if you happen to have a switch, a new switch that is a little bit longer than this one, that should not be a problem. That will fit in nicely. Okay, let's get the switch out. Just kind of cut the cables. And then there's a nut here in the back, and this is a 19 millimeters. And that's a switch out. So the hole size is 16 millimeters, but you can see here it's not fully round. It has those flat edges, and that's why a regular 16 millimeters switch does not fit in. So I have to file this down a little bit and make it round all the way. It's actually very easy to see on the front side. See, this is the round shape that it needs to be, and these are the flat sides, left and right, which I need to file down. And after a bit of filing, looks like this. Is that in focus? And the switch fits in nicely. So the one I bought has an actual like power switch button face. Is that in focus? No. Come on. And it has a little red LED in there, and it can be configured in different ways. You can have the LED on all the time, or you can have it on when the switch is on, and this is actually what I will do. So, but let's mount it first. Get this off here, and then just need to make sure that it looks nice. Actually, the other way around. Tighten the nut. So according to the wiring diagram, my 12-volt input goes to this one, to the C one. And then the output goes to this upper one here. And then the middle one and the upper one need to be connected, so that's for the LED inside the switch to turn on. So in this configuration, it should already work as a switch, well, for the bed lift. But if I connect also the ground wire to the switch, then the LED inside the switch should also work. So let me do that now. And that should be it. Okay, plug it back in and hope for the best. So here's a close-up of the switch. This is the off position when it's not lit up. And if I turn it on, it glows nice and red. It might look orange on video, but it's red in real life. And they come in different colors. You can order them in like green, blue, yellow, whatever. I picked red. And they also come with different designs here in the front. I put a link to what I bought from Amazon down in the video description. Well, it's one of those little things, but I really like it. Looks a lot cleaner, and they should really put that in instead of this key switch thing. Well, it's an easy fix. Well, so this is where the cassette toilet lives, and it is for sure not the most glamorous part of the van, but still there's something that is really bugging me. And that's how they routed these cables. They exit here, there's a plug tucked in here. And they go across here to a little solenoid which turns on the water to the toilet. And they also go up here, there's plenty of space up here where the switch of the toilet is. But there's no protection for those cables. They are not in like a plastic conduit or anything. And also, why are they first routed over here just to go up here? That makes no sense whatsoever. So I think I can reroute them and make it a little nicer. It's a little hard to film because there isn't much space in here for me to work in and film it from the outside. I'm adding this plastic flexible conduit. It has a slot so the cables can be slid in. These are cable ties with like a mounting plate, self-adhesive mounting plate. I'm just sticking it in here. And I'm adding another one further up here. And that's how it should have been done in a van with the list price of almost $200,000. And then I also added the same type of flexible conduit to the cable that runs to the handbrake. It's very hard to see, and I didn't film the installation. I mean, it's super easy. This was just a 2-wire bare cable, and I put this flexible conduit over it. Looks much cleaner now and protects the cable a lot better. The Revel comes with this shelf above the cab area, and I really like it because it provides a lot of additional storage space, and there can never be enough storage space, especially in a small van. However, what I didn't like is that this shelf is just a piece of aluminum. Well, it is nicely painted, but still it is not lined in any way, so whatever you put up there can rattle a lot. So I went ahead, removed the shelf, and lined it with some cheap carpet I bought at Lowe's. Just put that on with double-sided tape. Looks really nice. It's a light gray color. It kind of matches the original color. See, this is the carpeted side, and this is the back side. It's almost the same color, although this is metal. And this side is the nice but cheap carpet. Cost me only about 10 bucks and about 20 minutes of work. The shelf is connected to 4 of these brackets with 2 bolts each. The front brackets are behind the grab handle, so I left them in place. The brackets in the back, they are just attached with the single screw to the B-pillar, and I have taken them out because then you can tilt down the shelf a little bit and then slide it out. If you don't remove those brackets, one of the cupboards is in the way and you cannot slide it all the way out to the back. So removing those brackets is really easy. And done. This is the pantry. And whether you find it too small or just the right size for a relatively small van depends on your personal preferences, of course. But I think what we all can agree on is that the 2 shelves you get from Winnebago is just not enough. With a few additional shelves, the space could be used way more efficiently. And there's a million ways of adding them. It's super easy. Basically, it's just a piece of plywood. This is what Winnebago is using. I made my shelves using clear acrylic. This is super light and it's see-through, so you can always see what's below in the shelf. And then I heated it up and bent a little lip here. Can you see that? And this is, yeah, this is perfect. But the other problem is, and I show you that right here, wait a second. These rails that the shelf attach to or hang on, they are only 2 feet long. And there's a lot of empty space above the rail and below the rail that is pretty much unusable for any shelves because, well, there's nothing to hang them into. Luckily, that is a very easy fix as well. These things are called pilaster strips, and they are a standard thing. You can buy them at Lowe's. I bought mine 72 inches long for like $4 a piece, and depending on how long you want to make the new ones, you need like 4 of them, or if you just buy 2 and cut them in half, if that works for you, it's a very cheap upgrade. Let me show you. And here are the new rails installed. It makes the whole space a lot more usable. And here's an extra shelf I got from Amazon. Just order anything and use the cardboard box. In this small size, it is for sure sturdy enough to hold a few things. The Revel has this great fold-out outside table right next to the side door. And I'm using it a lot for the coffee maker, for the induction cooktop, and also for the Foresty Forest inspired slow cooker. And there's a 110 volt outlet here under the fridge to plug in all those appliances. But that means all the cables are kind of in the way here when you go in and out of the van. Also when the fly screen is closed, you have to tuck them under it. So I'm thinking it would be a lot better if there was an outlet on this side here. So I'm putting one in somewhere in this area. And there's actually a lot of room behind this area, so I can use one of those regular outlets in a 14 cubic inch electrical box. I'm using an outlet that is WR rated, which means weather resistant. It's meant for outside installation. While not fully waterproof, it's at least a little bit of splash proof, and it will be sitting behind the door obviously, but if the door is open and water ever splashes into it, that should not be a problem. I also closed all the holes in the electrical box because on the inside it will be sitting under the sink, and if there's ever water leaking down from the sink, at least it will not get into the electrical box. I put a magnet on the inside and on the outside, and now I can find the perfect spot for the hole I need to drill. Because on the inside there are a few braces that I need to stay clear of, and of course on the outside I want to stay away from the table itself and from the panel, so we can make this the bottom corner. This is a template for the hole I need to cut. And then I can follow my template with the flush cut trim bit on the router. Very nice. The router leaves some rounded corners, so I need to square them up now with the file because the box has square corners. The electrical connection I want to make to this existing outlet down here. It's held in place with a few tabs in the back, so just loosen those screws a little bit. Don't take them all the way out. That's it. All right, now I should be able to drop the box in and feed the cable out on the other side. All I have to do now is to make the electrical connection, so connect this cable that goes to the new socket to the cable that arrives in the existing socket. And I guess, I don't know, this is just pressed in. It's not the type of connector I particularly like, but it is what it is. So I'm using it for right now. This one still works, which is good. And this one also works, which is even better. And that is it. Was really easy to install, and I think it will be very useful. That's it for today. I hope you liked the video. Thank you for watching, and I hope to see you soon. Bye bye. Oh, I'm not driving off. I didn't even bring the key.